Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 9. I am coming to you from Lee's Summit, Missouri, but next week I should be home. So my road trip will be over. My grading will be a little more timely. Here's hoping. Um, if you're choosing to do your literary criticism right up front, there's a little bit of lag time for that because I do have to print them out to grade them because I'm 1,000 years old. But you work really hard and I want to give you good feedback. So little patience on that front. All right, so I'm loving the way that things are going discussion wise. The only thing are just a couple things that you may not be aware of if you didn't read the rubric carefully, which I am often guilty of not reading rubrics carefully myself. You have to post at least twice, 2 different times during the week, three posts minimum. And there were a couple people who made really beautiful, robust posts, especially to the general content, where you looked at a few different articles in your post. Don't do that, right? You can do it the same day, one post on this article, one post on this article. It doesn't have to be one big block. We use the threaded responses, so we want to keep it conversational, which it's doing really nicely in both groups. So well done on the discussion front. The blogs look great. Just make sure that your blog post URL is not in the editing tool. That it just brings up my editing tool. It has to be the actual blog that some stranger on the internet would find. Speaking of which, make sure that your blogs are open so that anyone can view them. And if you're using Google Docs or any kind of Google suite for any of your projects, if you're using your school one, chances are you're going to have to change the permissions on that. It does not automatically let you share it with everybody. And you've just got to. All right, so now to week 9. Ooh, it's so scary here in week 9. Mostly because there are so many readings. Again, I think everybody's aware you do not have to do all these readings. You read what you have time for, what interests you, and enough that you can take part in the discussion. So what I am going to do, which I believe I already did, was tell you things that you need to know that are not in the content page. So I would like you to read the content page just because it's, not that long and you can do it. Oh, that was the other thing. So based on what book, and oh my gosh, I just love these books. Was that one? Oh yeah, that was good too. Yeah, they're all so good. So if you are looking for a partner and that partner's email address is not in here, I already copied and pasted these earlier. I'm not going back. But in the week 8, welcome to the second half module, there's a spreadsheet and I put everyone who gave me their email address, I put it into the spreadsheet. So you can find emails there. All right, that's the last thing that you need to hear from this video. So if you want to just read the little blurbs about the readings, you can go do that and be on your way. Oh, my last thing, sorry, final project. I'm supposed to nag you about it every week, and I forgot last week. That final project is a big baby, so make sure that you are staying ahead of it. I don't have like specific benchmarks that you have to hit because we're all grown-ups. We all know how to do stuff, but it's very scary when you have a big project and you wait until the end and then it's right there. So I'm just be thinking about it. Even if you're not writing anything down, just be thinking about it. All right, fly, be free. And now I'm just going to talk about the 427 readings that I've chosen for this week because they're like my children. I can't get rid of any. All right, first up is Be Afraid, but Not Too Afraid. So this one is about middle grade and horror. And I actually have another one at the end that's about middle grade and horror. They really like it. I think that the high school, at least my high school kids, if they're reading horror, they kind of want the real stuff. They go with, Stephen King. They go with Paul Tremblay. He's a local writer to Beverly, and they love him too. So, all right, but middle grade, they like being scared, and this talks about it. And I think there's a book list in here too, maybe. Yeah. All right, then we have Betsy Bird, Funny Books for Unfunny Times. And even though this is horror and not humor, we don't really have a humor section because humor tends to be outside of genre. It's not really a genre anymore. I don't know. I find it really hard to find funny books, and yet so many books that I read are funny. So I believe that this is also probably more middle grade, even, oh no, this is everybody. I actually just bought this book, Funny Girl, at a used book sale this very week. How funny. Yeah, so this is through, K through 12 it looks like, but it's a good article. And then this one, so this is the introduction from They Suck, They Bite, They Eat, They Kill, the psychological meaning of supernatural monsters in young adult fiction, which is a whole big thing. It's from 2012. So not it's not so much about finding scary books, but sort of understanding behind it. If you're somebody who likes to look at that sort of, more theoretical than practical, this one might be for you. Okay, this is Anita Salucci right here. She went through this program. She was a student of mine, and she's amazing. So she's in Concord, Carlisle, maybe. I don't know if it says somewhere. Anyway, she's a Massachusetts school librarian, and she has a passion for social and emotional learning. She's actually got a book that's coming out, I think, this next fall about social emotional learning and the school library. And she's great. So this is the article that she wrote for School Library Journal about her program, but she's also got, if you took LBS 850 with me already, you probably looked at the Empathetic Librarian, which is her Facebook page. I just love her, and it's so important. Even though this is 2017, it's still very valid. It's still something we need to be working on because the kids are not getting mentally healthy as fast as we had previously hoped they would. Speaking of which, this is great. Reading for Well-Being, Ida Mae Craddock and Rita Powell, a counselor and a school librarian, work together to help students heal. And this is, fairly recent. And there they are, helping kids. I love this. And I've got to say, I have two school counselors who took two of my study rooms in the library, and I was so enraged. It has changed the whole vibe of the library. I love it. The library is now a mental health center at my school. So hugely important partnership, school counselors. All right, then it's pretty old. It's like 2017, no, like 2012 or something, 2013. However, it's one section from Diversity in Youth Literature, Opening Doors Through Reading, but it's about bibliotherapy and characters with cognitive disabilities, which I don't know how much we talk about representation with kids with cognitive disabilities. So it's worth it. I think it's worth looking into. This is actually a pretty good book, although there's been a lot more that's come out since. It's a pretty good article. So this one is Ellen Hopkins. I don't know if you know her. She's been writing for a while. Her books were in my library, I think, when I got there 18 years ago. She writes very, very like Go Ask Alice, but not but not horrible. And issues driven books about kids who are in a lot of pain that really help kids who are in a lot of pain. She's also started some a middle grade. I just found out she's writing middle grade books now that aren't as detailed, not as descriptive, but still have the issues in it, which if you're reading the Kimberly Brubaker Bradley book, Fighting Words. If you're reading Fighting Words this time around, this might be one to read because Bradley does a beautiful job of having very dark themes, but written in a way that younger kids can absorb it without, it causing damage. Anyway. All right, this one is another older one, Saving Kids from Despair. And this one has been, this is 2000. Wow, this is 20 years old. I feel like 2003 was 20 minutes ago. This one has, oh gosh, sorry, that's my alarm. This one, people have been conflicted about it because it does make it feel like this is a responsibility we didn't ask for. But also, if it depends on it. Everyone has their gifts in school librarianship. If you are someone who's super compassionate, who wants to look at bibliotherapy, who wants to look at healing, read this. But not everyone is there. Everyone has their own different ideas of what we should be doing. So, all right, this one is Not Okay, That's Okay. Middle grade authors talking about mental health. This is a pretty good one. Super middle grade friendly this time around. And then Why Tweens Crave Horror in Scary Times, which kind of is similar to Be Afraid but Not Too Afraid. So those are all the articles. Again, you do not have to read them all. Choose the ones that interest you, write something pithy in the discussion, and don't, like, if you read 4 articles, don't put them all in one post. That's 4 different posts right there. And then you go back 2 days later and just say, huh, great point, because most of your posts were already up there. We're just trying to keep it so that everybody can, so no matter when you drop in, you've got something to respond to. Here's hoping. All right, I believe that that is all that I have for this week. So I'm going to post this video and then back to Missouri, which is a lot of beef, All right. Anyway, I hope you are having a great summer, and I will see you on the discussion boards. Bye-bye.